Hey besties, welcome or welcome back.
I can't wait to share these Dollar Tree metal hacks with you. Let's get started. For this Dollar Tree metal hack, I've got these 3 gorgeous metal flowers. And then I've also got one of the stove burner covers that comes with a set of 2. And then I've got some reindeer moss, and I've got several packets of that I'm going to use. First thing though, before I forget, I'm going to put a hanger on the back. I've got this like kind of a ribbon from a gift bag, and I didn't want to waste it, so I just went ahead and glued it on, put some masking tape with more glue, and then I painted it black just to match the back. I'm going to use my Aleene's tacky glue, and I'm going to put it all over the inside of the stove burner cover. I'm going to use it where the edges are turning up towards me. And then I'll just use a foam brush and spread it out. And then I'm going to break down that reindeer moss. And let me tell you, it's messy. It just is. And I'm going to put it all over the glue, and I'm going to do that to the entire thing. Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain. Once I've got it all on there, I'm going to use this spray adhesive that I got at Dollar Tree just to kind of make sure there aren't little pieces that are going to fly off, because that happens with this reindeer moss. So I'm just going to spray it generously, and then I'm going to get out my heat tool and dry it off to make sure that it's not wet when I'm trying to work with it. I'm going to take the little hangers on those flowers and hot glue them down, because we're not going to use those on these. And then I'm going to figure out how I want to position the 3 flowers. Kind of wanted them to overlap and then hang over the edge a little bit. So I'm just going to use a generous amount of hot glue, and I'm going to place each flower on there.
Shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh.
I'm going to take these little faux flowers. I'm going to take a blue one, a pink one, and then these little teeny white, I don't know what they're called exactly. I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue the little flowers to the center of the flowers just to give them a little more interest. I wasn't super fond of the black circle in the middle of them. And that's it. This one was pretty easy. A little messy, but very easy. Let me know what you think.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain. Beauty in the mundane.
This Dollar Tree metal hack. I am going to use the butterfly portion of that little metal piece, and then I've got this little cute rainbow sign. I'm going to actually use the back. So I'm going to use my heat tool from Amazon and get that thing off there. They can be very stubborn. And then I'm going to unscrew the hanger, because we're going to use the back as the front. So I'm going to sand it down, put a little bit of spackle in there, and sand it down again.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain.
I'm going to use my Agave Waverly chalk paint, which I love, and paint the whole thing. And then I got these wall tiles, and I think I got them at Target Dollar Spot. And I'm just going to put a couple of them on just to give it, a little bit of more interest. And I just love that because it's see-through in the clear parts, so you can see the agave color. I'm going to sand down the edges with my nail file. And then I've got this really gorgeous metal ribbon from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to cut it to size with my little nippers and hot glue the piece on. And then I use the side of a scissors to push the sides down. And I put one on each side of the tile. I ordered these really cool papers from Amazon that have like antique looking handwriting and stuff like that. So I figured out the size I needed by kind of rubbing down on the edge of that metal ribbon. And I'm just going to lay down some Mod Podge, and I'm going to set my little piece down and then put some more Mod Podge right over the top. I'm going to cover the whole thing actually in Mod Podge just to make sure everything is nice and sealed. And then I'm going to use my nippers again and just cut off those butterfly wings. I'm not really into fairies, so I decided to take that piece off. And I'm just going to hot glue this right in the middle. I position the wings up a little bit so this would lay flatter, and I'm just going to go ahead and put that right there, just at a slight angle, and I just like the way that looks.
As the light started
I got this packet from Crafter Square of these really pretty green and black and kind of lime colored butterfly stickers. And I'm going to put one right in the middle of the butterfly. And then I've also got this greenery. I believe I got this at the Target dollar spot also. And I'm just going to take 2 pieces, tie them around the stems, meeting together like a swag with some jute. And I'm doing that, 1, to hold them together, and 2, it gives me a place to attach something. And I put some more butterflies kind of randomly on the leaves. And then this one whitish flower, I'm just putting right in the middle. And then I'm going to hot glue the little swag down to each side of the sign. And I love this one. It's so mixed media. You'll have to let me know what you think. My husband really loved this one too. Are you guys into mixed media?
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light,
This Dollar Tree metal hack. I've got this really pretty round piece of metal. One side looks like a little bit of a chalkboard in the center with some seashells. And then I've got a couple pieces from a Dollar Tree rub-on transfer, another Dollar Tree sign, and then I've got some beautiful scrapbook paper. I'm going to sand off the glitter on the front of that sign, and then I'm going to use my Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint and just paint the whole thing. Not a heavy coat, but just because I'm going to put scrap paper on it, I don't want anything to show through. And now I'm going to use my cutter from Cricut to go ahead and cut pieces of the scrapbook paper because it's too big for that sign, but I want to piece it so that there's like a border around the circle metal. I'm going to cut this plaid paper and make a stripe right down the middle. And I'm also going to put some on the very bottom, those little triangles that stick out. So I'm going to lay down some Mod Podge, attach all of those pieces I just cut. And I really like the way this pattern turned out. And then I use my brayer to make sure there are no wrinkles or bubbles, and I will also put some Mod Podge over the surface. And here I'm going to add that plaid down to the bottom, and I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to cut off the excess. I'm going to go over it again with my brayer because I just like to make sure it's flat. I'm going to take that round piece of metal. I'm going to use the back side and put some hot glue down and just lay it there on the center. And then I'm going to take my rub-on transfers and I'm going to put the wildflower above and then the other below. But it wouldn't show very well, so I put a little bit of the white paint over the top, kind of like a dry brush, and then some Mod Podge, and then I dried the whole thing. And now I'm going to lay down my rub-on transfer. And I'm just going to rub with my little wooden stick that I have until it's on there, and then I'll just very carefully pull it off and then keep rubbing if anything decides to stick. And after I do that, I always rub my fingers over the top to kind of burnish it on, so make sure there's no little edges sticking up that might get caught. Now once that's done, I'm going to lay down some Mod Podge on that just to seal that in there. I'm loving how this is looking so far. It's so pretty. I've got these cute little blossom fern flowers from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to pull 2 little pieces with some of the leaves. I'm going to hot glue them together. I'm going to cover that hole in the metal sign with them. And then I'll take the third one. I'll just take the little flower bud part and I'll put that right in the center with some hot glue. And that's it. This one turned out so pretty, and this is one of my husband's favorites. He really, really liked this one. And I love it too. You'll have to let me know what you think about it.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane.
I always buy these welcome windmill signs and then I don't never use them. So I came up with an idea finally. So this is another Dollar Tree metal hack. And then I've got these 2 long coastal signs that have the seahorse at the top. I'm going to end up cutting that part off, but I want it to look like wood planks. So what I'm going to do is hold my 2 signs together, position the windmill where I think I would like it, and then I'm going to use my square to cut a straight line so I know where I'm going to break them in half. Now I'm using this awesome handheld box cutter from Amazon. I love it. It's got a great grip. And I probably went over it 4 or 5 times, and then you're able to just bend it and it just snaps right off. Look at that. Talk about easy. So I did that to both of them, cleaned up the edges, and now I'm going to use some hot glue temporarily just to put them together while I secure them. So you can see that's just holding them temporarily. That would not be anywhere near enough. So I've got popsicle stick or craft stick scraps, and I'm just going to use those to reinforce the back.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain. Beauty in the mundane. And as the
I'm going to take some jute and I'm just going to hot glue it to the back and make a hanger. And of course, I always use masking tape and then hot glue to secure it. This was kind of a long one, so I did 2 pieces, and that will keep that very, very secure.
light startled our eyes, we let go.
I'm going to take my white Rust-Oleum, well, linen white chalk paint, and I'm going to kind of dry brush and make this look a little bit distressed. And then I'm going to use my burnt umber. I'm going to mist over the top to make it wet. And then I will take that burnt umber and just kind of blend it in to give the wood a little more texture. I really wasn't too fond of the original color. There's nothing wrong with it, but I kind of like this better. And now I'm just going to position the welcome windmill on the top, put some hot glue, and that's going to go under the welcome part. And then right under the center of the windmill, I will add a whole bunch of hot glue and make sure it's nice and secure.
Of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our
I've got this ivy from IKEA. I've used it before, and I'm just going to cut a couple of pieces. I'm going to make it look like there was like an ivy vine just kind of hanging over the sign. So I put some on the left side that just goes up that whole side and a little bit over it. And then I'm going to take another piece and kind of drape it down on the right side so it hangs low, and that way it looks a little more like a natural vine growing. I love it. Let me know what you think.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain. Beauty in the mundane.
Thank you so much for watching. You'll have to let me know which one was your favorite. Also, you are truly a blessing to me. If you enjoyed this video and want to hang around a little bit longer, I've got another one on the screen. If you click it, I will see you there. Bye.
Streets where the lights are red, I've been hiding the world safely in my head.